Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. I am a little late this morning. I am recovering from a migraine yesterday. I spent after about 11 o'clock, it hit me real hard. It got a lot worse. I had a mild headache when I woke up yesterday, but it turned into a migraine about, I feel like 11-ish, and then it got bad enough that I had to go lay down. And I spent a solid majority of my day in bed with my eyes closed. And then, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, so I am actually not even going to cook breakfast this morning. I am staying home from work and I am going to rest my head. I don't want to miss devotions. So I'm gonna do those, but I feel like I got hit in the face and the back of the head with a baseball bat is what I feel like. So I'm going to stay home and rest a good majority of my day. All right, boundaries of the land, Numbers 34, 1 through 15. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Give these instructions to the Israelites. When you come into the land of Canaan, which I am giving you as your special possession, these will be the boundaries. The southern portion of your country will extend from the wilderness of Zin along the edge of Edom. The southern boundary will begin on the east of the Dead Sea. It will run south past Scorpion Pass in the direction of Zin. Its southernmost point will be Kadesh Barnea, from which it will go to Hazar Adar and to Asmon. From Asmon, the boundary will turn towards the brook of Egypt and the end of the Mediterranean Sea. Your western boundary will be the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. Your northern boundary will begin at the Mediterranean Sea and run east to Mount Hor, then to Leboth Hamath and on to Zedad, and Ziphron to Hazarenan. Then this will be your northern boundary. The eastern boundary will start at Hazar Enan and run south to Shechem, then down to Riblah and on the east side of Ain. From there, the boundary will run down along the eastern edge of the Sea of Galilee, and then along the Jordan River to the Dead Sea. These are the boundaries of your land. Then Moses told the Israelites, "This territory is the homeland you are to divide among yourselves by sacred lot." The Lord had commanded the land to be divided among the 9.5 remaining tribes. The families of the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh have already received their grants of land on the east side of the Jordan River, across from Jericho towards the sunrise. Leaders to divide the land, Numbers 34, 16 through 29. And the Lord said to Moses, "Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun are the men designated to divide the grants of land among the people. Enlist one leader from each tribe to help them with the task. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders. Judah, the tribe of Judah, leader is Caleb son of Jephunneh. Simeon, Shemuel son of Ammihud. Benjamin, Eladad son of Kislon. Dan, Bucky son of Jogli. Manasseh son of Joseph. Haniel son of Ephod. Ephraim son of Joseph is Kemuel son of Shifton. Zebulun is Elizaphan son of Parnak. Issachar, Peltiel son of Azan. Asher is Ahihud son of Shelemai. Naphtali is Pedahel son of Ammihud. These are the men the Lord had appointed to divide the grants of land in Canaan among the Israelites. Town for the Levites, Numbers 35, 1 through 8. While Israel camped beside the Jordan on the plains of Moab across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, "Command the people of Israel to give the Levites from their property certain towns to live in, along with the surrounding pasture lands. These towns will be for the Levites to live in, and the surrounding lands will provide pasture for their cattle, flocks, and other livestock. The pasture land assigned to the Levites around these towns will extend 1,500 feet from the town walls in every direction. Measure off 3,000 feet outside of the town walls in every direction, east, south, west, and north, with the town at the center. This area will serve as the larger pasture land for the towns. 6 of the towns you give the Levites will be cities of refuge, where a person who has accidentally killed someone can flee for safety. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, 48 towns with the surrounding pasture land will be given to the Levites. These towns will come from the property of the people of Israel. The larger tribe will give more towns to the Levites, while the smaller tribes will give fewer. Each tribe will give property in proportion to the size of its land." Cities of refuge, Numbers 25, 9 through 34. The Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, designate cities of refuge to which people can flee if they have killed someone accidentally. These cities will be places of protection from a dead person's relative who wants to avenge the death. The slayer must not be put to death before being tried by the community. Designate 6 cities of refuge for yourselves, 3 on the east side of the Jordan River, and 3 on the west in the land of Canaan. These cities are for the protection of the Israelites, foreigners living among you, and traveling merchants. Anyone who accidentally kills someone may flee for their safety. But if someone strikes and kills another person with a piece of iron, it is murder, and the murderer must be executed. If someone with a stone in his hand strikes and kills another person, it is murder, and the murderer must be put to death. Or if someone strikes and kills another person with a wooden object, it is murder, and the murderer must be put to death. The victim's nearest relative is responsible for putting the murderer to death. When they meet, the avenger must put the murderer to death. If someone hates another person and waits in ambush and then pushes him or throws something at him and he dies, it is murder. Or if someone hates another person and it hits him with a fist and he dies, it is murder. In such cases, the avenger must put the murderer to death when they meet. But suppose someone pushes another person without having shown previous hostility, or throws something that unintentionally hits another person, or accidentally drops a huge stone on someone, though they were not enemies, and the person dies. If this should happen, the community must follow these regulations in making a judgment between the slayer and the avenger, the victim's nearest relative. The community must protect the slayer from the avenger and must escort the slayer back to live in the city of refuge to which he fled. There must remain until death of the high priest, who was anointed with the sacred oil. But if the slayer ever leaves the limits of the city of refuge, and the avenger finds him outside the city and kills him, it will not be considered murder. The slayer should have stayed inside the city of refuge until the death of the high priest, but after the death of the high priest, the slayer may return to his own property. These are the legal requirements for you to observe from generation to generation, wherever you may live. All murderers must be put to death, but only if evidence is presented by more than one witness. No one may be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. Also, you must never accept ransom payment for the life of someone judged guilty of murder and subject to execution. Murderers must always be put to death, and never accept a ransom payment from someone who has fled to a city of refuge, allowing a slayer to return to his property before the death of the high priest. This will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from murder. You must not defile the land where you live, for I live there myself. I am the Lord, who lives among the people of Israel. Women who inherit property, Numbers 36, 1-13. Then the heads of the clans of Gilead, descendants of Machir, sons of Manasseh, sons of Joseph, came to Moses and the family leaders of Israel with a petition. They said, "Sir, the Lord has instructed you to divide the land by sacred law among the people of Israel. You were told by the Lord to give the grant of land owned by our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. But if they marry men from another tribe, their grants of land will go with them to the tribe into which they marry. In this way, the total area of our tribal land will be reduced. Then when the year of Jubilee comes, their portion of land will be added to that of the new tribe, causing it to be lost forever to our ancestral tribe." So Moses gave the Israelites this command from the Lord. The claim of the men of the tribe of Joseph is legitimate. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zelophehad. Let them marry anyone they like, as long as it is within their own ancestral tribe. None of the territorial land may pass from tribe to tribe, for all the land given to each tribe must remain within the tribe to which it is first allotted. The daughters throughout the tribes of Israel who are in line to inherit property must marry within their tribe, so that all the Israelites will keep their ancestral property. No grant of land may pass from one tribe to another. Each tribe of Israel must keep its allotted portion of land. The daughters of Zelophehad did as the Lord commanded Moses. Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah all married cousins on their father's side. They married into the clans of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Thus their inheritance of the land remained within their ancestral tribe. These are the commands and regulations that the Lord gave the people of Israel through Moses while they were camped on the plains of Moab beside the Jordan River across from the Jericho. Okay. Let's do our Trim Healthy Devotions. We're on day 70. We're almost done this thing. Holy. All right. A welcome home. A hospitable home is like God's home, a welcome home. A let him take the water of life freely home, a come to the waters home. God is a hospitable God, and he wants his heavenly home to be filled. He sent his only beloved Son to die and shed his blood in order to bring many sons to glory. Because he dwells in us, he wants to reveal his hospitality through us. Some people think that hospitality is for certain people who have that particular ministry. No, hospitality is the lifestyle of the kingdom of God. It is a biblical doctrine that starts in Genesis and weaves through the pages of the Bible to Revelation. And mothers, hospitality is an extension of your mothering and homemaking ministry. Your home is your greatest place to serve God. As you open your home to the ones God lays upon your heart, you will never have another boring moment. Your home is the greatest place for people to feel the presence of God. It is the perfect place for the lonely, broken-hearted people to experience God's love and encouragement. As Peter exhorts us in how to live as we get closer to the coming of the Lord, he says, "The end of all things is at hand. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling." If God lives in your home, it will be a hospitable home. Contentment. Philippians 4:11 reminds us that I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. I am not quite at the place where Paul was in the above scripture, but I am getting there. Notice, Paul mentions that contentment is something he learned. It doesn't come naturally to most of us. I was known as the dreamer of the family, not the worker. I decided at the age of 10 that when I grew up, I'd either be rich myself or marry a rich man and have a maid. My own riches never fell into place, and I married a man with empty pockets, a wonderful, loving family man who worked hard and was usually juggling 2 jobs to keep us afloat. To beat all, our first home was a tiny trailer home, about 900 square feet. One morning I waved goodbye to my husband, then promptly collapsed on the couch and cried. I was pregnant with my 3rd child, feeling sick. My house was a mess, and I didn't have the energy to keep up with my 2 young, energetic children, clean and cook healthy meals. My 1-year-old son became concerned at my crying. He toddled over and said, "Mama," hugged me and patted me while I sniffled. Through my tears, I hugged him back and watched my healthy 3-year-old dance around the living room. I thought about my husband going to do a job he did not like, working his weekends so I could stay home with my little ones, and I knew I was the richest woman on earth. I love that. Humbly happy. Attempting to be perfect is exhausting. Accepting ourselves is freedom. But always trying to lift ourselves up, thinking we're better than everyone else, seeming perfect, and covering up our mistakes will eventually trap us like birds in a cage. Humbling ourselves, seeing others better than ourselves, admitting we have flaws, and laughing at our own mistakes will allow us to spread our wings and take off in flight. We are free when we don't care what others think. My mom taught me to laugh at my own mistakes when I felt like crying and hiding in a cupboard instead. "Don't take life so seriously," she instructed. I knew she didn't mean not to take the serious matters seriously. She meant not to take the minor matters seriously, the worthless things like pride. Proverbs 16:18 says, "Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall." Proverbs 15:33 harmonizes by saying, "The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility." We must be humbled to be happy. Meadow. Okay, guys. This morning, I am sorry I won't be live for breakfast, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. I'm going to go chill, close my eyes, keep them closed as much as I can. I still have a bit of a headache. I took more medicine this morning. Right here now. It feels like I got hit here and here at the same time. Oh, it was ocular. I couldn't see it all out of my right eye. Yesterday when I went to lay down, it was like there was boiling bright water in front of this right eye, and if I turned to get away from it, it just came. Like I couldn't get away from it. So I need to avoid getting that again today because that was no fun. I get them very rarely, Cindy, maybe once or twice a year. That yesterday was probably the worst I've ever had. Lasted all day. Got up, had dinner, went back to bed, slept all night. Just, no good. no good. And so I still have it a fair amount. So I'm going to log off and lay down, and I'm going to have quinoa for breakfast. I've got some leftover quinoa, and I'm just going to have it with almond milk. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I hope I will see you back tomorrow for more devotions and hopefully brekkie. All right, you guys, I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.